Hello and welcome to Springboard, your virtual university. My name is Albert Okran, welcoming you to Ghana's foremost developmental program and that place where the greatest minds in the world converge. Springboard is brought to you by the Springboard Roadshow Foundation in partnership with MTN Ghana, the Enterprise Group, and the Ghana Grows Program, a collaboration between MasterCard Foundation and the Springboard Roadshow Foundation. Our media partners, the Multimedia Group and the Graphic Communications Group. In my studios today, I have Wild Ghana Coffee from Skin Gourmet, Chelsea Boots from Ahunfade, Akwaba Cashews from my friends at Akwaba Fine Foods, and then guess what? Mushroom cookies from Ket Organic Farms. It's an agribusiness day and an ATVET day. So tell a friend to tell a friend to call a friend to get ready, because today in the studio I have two of our winners from the Ghana Grows Agrofusion Young Innovators Awards, helping us to understand how they found themselves in agribusiness and ATVET. So I have to my extreme right, Emmanuel Twene, CEO of Ket Organic Farms. Emmanuel, good to see you.
Thank you.
We'll find out what it means to do organic farming. But I also have in the studios Edna Frimpong, aka the shoemaker girl, CEO of Ahunfade Designs. Edna, good to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you too.
How's the week been?
Good, productive.
Productive, that's what we want to hear, especially at a time like this. Is it the busiest part of the year for you, Edna?
Yeah. School resuming for the BEC students, the SHS, and then as Christmas is also near the corner.
So the last quarter is every day Christmas for you.
Exactly.
All right, let's start with you, Emmanuel. First of all, congratulations on the award.
Thank you.
And Edna, congratulations too.
Thank you.
What did Koforidua mean to you, Emmanuel?
It was a whole new experience. I've been in several award schemes before, but then I think Agrofusion's own was one that stood out amongst all the awards that we've been to, considering from the organization to even the prizes to the stage, everything. I think it was quite an incredible job that was done.
It was massive, man.
It was massive. It was. And the crowd.
Young
yeah.
people. It was almost midnight. They
Yes.
just were still shouting it.
Yes.
It was just very heartwarming to see all of you. And all 10 awardees were, in our opinion, very, very deserving. And it was just an honor to interact with all of you. And how has it been since the award? Have you gotten several calls from friends?
Exactly. Definitely. Through the socials, we've got a lot of people. Edna, I saw you here, I saw you there. Someone called me that they saw me at Koforidua. I said, yeah, I was there. So it's been an amazing experience. One of the best awards so far for me, yes. And thank you guys so much.
Thank you for representing the young people of Ghana well. We want to explore a bit of what you do, find out how you got into it. And our objective is to get many more Emmanuel Twenes, many more Edna Frimpongs doing big things, not just in Ghana, but across the world. So let's start with Emmanuel. What is organic farming and how did you get into it?
So organic farming is when you are, it's a farming activity where you do not cause any harm to the environment, the immediate environment that you're operating within. And so it starts from the land preparation. In fact, it even starts from your seed selection through to when you harvest the crop from the field. And so there are a number of activities that you need to undertake in order to meet the organic status of your product.
I'm presuming that it means that from the lay person's point of view, when you hear organic farming, it means that, we don't use fertilizer, we don't use chemicals.
Yeah.
But you are saying that it goes beyond just not using chemicals.
Yes.
The whole cycle. So
Yes.
tell us a couple of things, for instance, that the average person doesn't know that the organic farmer does. Starting with, let's say, the land treatment.
Okay. So I think I'll start with the seed selection. So even before you start or before you even think of starting your organic farm, you should look at where you're getting your seed from. Because if you take up organic principles and then assuming your seed is a GMO type of seed, it defiles the the whole idea of you doing organic farming. And so it starts from selecting the right seeds that are not GMO, seeds that are able to, withstand the pressures, but then not necessarily GMO seed. And then from there, you move to your land preparation. There, we have two ways. Either you do no-till or you do tilling. No-till is when, after clearing the land, you wouldn't burn the weed. You rather pick all the weed from the surface of the land that you've prepared, and then we start either creating mounds or creating ridges to start planting your crops. Other way, there are others that would also want to till, that is, use a tractor to plow before planting. That could be considered as organic farming. However, there are strict organic farmers, and then there are others that you can.
And there are levels.
Yes.
Which crops, for instance, are you into?
So we do tomatoes, we do hot pepper, chili pepper, and then sweet peppers. And then sometimes, depending on what the market is demanding of us, we grow to meet that demand.
I know you're also into snails and then mushrooms.
Yes, please.
Which one will be your lead product, as it were?
Mushrooms. Even though I started with snails before venturing into mushrooms, but I think with time, I'm kind of gearing towards more of the mushrooms than the snails.
It's a $50 billion market in mushrooms. I'm going to come to how we move from it being something that people casually will just add to a meal, sometimes in the rural areas, to now something that you will find in literally every 5-star, every hotel you go in any part of the world, and how it's migrated to become a $50 billion market. So I'm going to come back to you, Emmanuel.
All right.
Let me come to you, Edna. So shoes. I guess we all need shoes. But how did you end up in shoes? And what is different about yours?
Okay, so first off, I grew up in a home where my dad is a shoemaker for over 20 years. That's what he's been doing. And I stayed with him throughout my entire life. So I saw what he was doing. He was putting food on the table, but it wasn't enough. I wasn't seeing the result. And I said, okay. So being the first child, he had a skill, he never learned it. God gave it to him. It means God gave it to the family for a purpose. So why don't the daughter, the first child, take it along?
Wow.
Just to keep that shoe thing still in the family. So even if he's no more there, somebody is taking with that lineage, is still holding on with the shoe. So that's why I think I was still having it, even though I went out to do my other things, but I still came back and said, no, this is where I still have to venture, because that's something I want to still keep the family legacy name on hold.
Is Daddy proud of you?
Absolutely.
Wow. I went to a shoe shop years ago outside the country, and they wrote the brand name and they say, we've been making it since 1853. Is that the thing is that what you're trying to do?
Exactly. I want to have that name.
So, over the years, with master's or your first degree in communications, having been exposed like you have been around doing business and being in different places, would you say that you've brought something different to shoemaking from what the old man was doing when you were growing up?
Yes, a lot. In terms of work ethics, I mean, he has his own style of making the shoes and the same way designs and all that. But I came on board, or my team came on board with a different dynamics altogether. The audience that we have a change of preference. So even the types of shoes that we make, smocks we make, bags we make are different from what he used to do. And so in terms of shoe designs, yes, we have moved on. At times people see shoemakers as people who have not been to school before. But I think I'm changing that perception. I have been to school, the first class, I've written a book, I've been a TEDx speaker. So it means if I'm able to do that, young girl somewhere or young guy somewhere can also become a shoemaker and have a master's degree or be doing something different. So it's possible. I'm still on the path of rediscovering myself and doing more for myself as well. So yes.
But you seem to be enjoying what you're doing.
Exactly. I have to enjoy it.
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing about some of these conversations that we are having. I just get humbled and thrilled by the fact that people can find what they love, do it, and not really mind whether you like it or you don't like it. I love what I'm doing and I'm enjoying it. And you know what? it makes a world of difference. And let me just congratulate you for that boldness. Did you get pressure? Did you get pressure from friends, from people saying, I mean, like, do you get people pressurizing you to say, find a more lucrative thing to do, or because daddy had done it, it was a bit easier?
I think I didn't get that because of maybe the environment where I grew up. There are a lot of shoemakers around, and I was also helping out. So I didn't get that kind of energy. Maybe on less campus, and maybe when the lecturer come to class, introduce yourself. I was a weekend student, so when I mention my name and I will mention what I do, and then people say every day you want to market yourself. You know, sometimes if you don't have that high spirit, it will just kill you there. But if you don't sell yourself, who would do that? And so I was shamelessly selling myself.
There's nothing to be ashamed of. Proudly. So whatever you say, maybe mention the name and say banker.
Teacher, police. I'm a shoemaker. Like, hey, every day opportunity to be able to sell at all. I mean, that was so hurtful, but oh well. So first, at the end of the day, police will get money, doctor also get money, a shoemaker also get money. We are all same.
I mean, you're wearing some. For those who are watching television, I feel like I could lift the foot for you to see the Chelsea boots. But it's really nice.
Thank you.
So you made this yourself?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Because these are very much in demand.
Yeah, very. Young guys were telling.
So do you do a lot of analysis of the market and what people want and major on what is fast moving?
So sometimes we every week or every month, my team will sit down and do analysis of what we will to sew. And so maybe, okay, this week or this month we sew more of boots than sandals. Okay, so it means that people love the boots more or the office shoes more. So it depends on customers, what they actually
Who are your
like.
customers? Who buys from you? Is it male? Is it female? Is it students? We cannot people buy from you.
So the male people buy a lot. And sometimes the ladies will buy, they're buying for their husbands or whatever. And then now we also want to do more for the school children as well. So we are looking to produce more for those in secondary school as well.
Please, if you're a school owner, head teacher, board member, principal, educationist, and you are looking for shoes for your students, please buy from Ahomfadi Designs. Please support a young woman and her partners doing shoes made in Ghana shoes. And buy from them, Charlie. You will grow the economy and the Lord will bless you greatly. Is that a good pitch?
Very good.
Perfect pitch.
Thank you.
Why agribusiness?
Okay, so while I was in school, like I was still trying to figure out what I could do for myself after school because I didn't want to come and join the queue of unemployed graduates. So I was looking out for opportunities. In fact, I didn't start off by doing agribusiness. I started it with learning how to weave kente. So I'm a kente weaver as well. So I learned it in level 200. Did a bit of it.
Did you actually sell some?
Yes.
You sold kente?
I sold about 4 or 5 pieces.
Were you in KNUST?
No, please, UCC.
UCC?
Yes.
And you were selling kente on campus?
Yes, please.
My goodness. Stools or actually full cloth?
Yeah, so I sold some in full cloth. When I came home, I had a sister who was planning her wedding. So I did 2 full pieces for her and the husband for their wedding. And then after that, before I go back to school, myself and some few friends, I had some friends who were also into tailoring. So I would whip the kente, we buy a t-shirt, and then we design it with it, just to raise revenues for ourselves to go back to school. And so,
do you think that entrepreneurship should be compulsory in university?
I think it should. It should. I was having this discussion with some of my colleagues in the office was it on Monday, and then jovially they all went to UCC, and so we were like, okay, so they've one credit course entrepreneurship that they teach us in university. What do they really want us to do with it? Because entrepreneurship is something that you can learn within. You can learn as one credit course for a whole 4 years of your stay on campus. So we think that going forward, it should be compulsory and maybe
even the one credit is better than nothing. I'll tell you, some years ago, Legon introduced. At that time, we had written our book, Building Your Dream Business, and it was making a lot of waves. So Legon introduced a course, not because of the book, but they had also at the time introduced a course that was compulsory for every student to get before they can graduate. And I had the privilege of going to teach the class. It was central cafeteria, packed.
Wow.
We had a good time. I was a practitioner teaching students entrepreneurship. My only downside is that they were slightly more interested in the exams and what form it is than the content of the course. But
Exactly.
but I thought we had a good time.
Sure.
But you are saying it should be compulsory.
It should be compulsory.
So you're looking out for opportunities. You tried Kinti and then ended up in farming.
Yes. So after school, I was looking at, okay, is this something that I can do sustainably? Is this something that I can do, and then others would I can get other people on board for us to do? Is it something that it can stand the test of time? Because I was considering, okay, the health-wise, we need to sit from morning till evening and then be moving all parts of the body. I was considering all these things, and then on the flip side was I looking at agribusiness. I come from an agric background, like my parents, yes,
Okay.
were into farming.
Which aspect?
My
Which
father
type of
was into cocoa farming, then my mother was into this cassava, yam, plantain farming. So even though that was what they were using to take care of us, it wasn't really something that would be a source of motivation for you.
Pause right there. So here you are, your father is doing. So you see, there's the common thread.
Yeah.
Your father is paying your fees with shoemaking. You're saying, yeah, he's doing his best, but the money is not enough. So even though I may consider that profession, if I'm going to go into it, then it must make more money.
Yes.
Exactly.
And you are saying, yeah, parents, cocoa farmers, but the money was not enough.
Yes.
And so at that point in your life, it will not be necessarily your first choice for a career.
Yes. Okay, so
What
I
was
was
the turning
considering
point?
it, but I wasn't looking at going the same angle at which they were.
Okay.
So
So do it, but at a higher level.
Yes.
That's what both of you have in common.
Yes.
So when did you settle on it?
It started from after school. So when we were home for a while, I joined an organization, Oak Foundation. They were running a project, graduate in agribusiness, for graduates who had completed and then wanted to do something within agribusiness. So I joined them, and then whilst waiting for national service posting. So whilst with them at the camp, one of the sponsors of the program, which was Mensako Farms, came around, and I was recommended by the foundation that they could actually use me as to be part of their farms. And so I went to Mensako Farms as a manager, and then after doing some months with them, I developed the interest from there. Even though I had the ideas, but I was still figuring out how to go about it. So the farm was into vegetables
When?
in Dodowa, and then I started off doing snails. But then snail farming had started gaining some grounds, and people were talking about it all over the place. So okay, why not? Let me try with one box, and I started with 50 pieces of snails there to see how it goes. And I realized that people started showing interest, and then in the course of it, even though I didn't have a lot of experience, I organized the training. I saw about 10 people turning up for the training on snail farming. Then I realized, okay, if it means people are interested in it, then why not rather do it properly? So I started, reinvesting whatever thing I was making from it into it. And then going forward, the sustainability part of it came. I think I went for a seminar where they were talking about sustainable agriculture, how climate issues and all that. So I said, okay, why not do something that has a direct impact on the climate, something that is going to take away some carbon emissions from the ecosystem. And so I chanced on doing mushroom farming, where we were going to use raw materials. We're going to use organic materials that are decomposing, like wood chippings and other stuff, bring them together rather than burning them, rather bringing them together and then producing mushrooms out of it. So the interest also started developing for mushroom production. And then in the course of it, I had a friend whose mom was suffering, went to the hospital, and she was diagnosed of osteoporosis. So having a discussion, he mentioned that they told her mom that she's been eating too much meat. And so as a result of that, that is what is causing osteoporosis. Then I went back to my research books to find out what could be an alternative for people like that, and then the general population, so that we can cut down our meat consumption and have an alternative protein to complement our protein needs. And so mushroom came in handy. So Okay, then I found a business. Let me listen to it and see how it goes.
There's a word, you've got two words that's hyphenated. And if you are the first to write it on the Facebook stream, I'm going to send you a gift. And that's the word that describes Emmanuel, the summary of his story so far. So if you are the first to write that hyphenated word, it starts with P. I won't tell you what the second word starts with, but it's a hyphenated word. And all entrepreneurs have it, including Edna. But listening to Emmanuel's journey and trying to summarize what has made him make all the decisions he's made so far, I'm just thinking of one word. If you've been following our Straight From My Heart in the past week, that word has come up, it starts with P. If you are the first right on the stream, you are getting a big gift from me, just in a good mood, because these two young entrepreneurs are giving me a very wonderful time. So if you are listening on radio, just enjoy it. But if you are on the Facebook stream, just write that word. In the next 3 minutes, I'll tell you the word. And if you won, your gift is coming right at you. But it starts with P, and it's a hyphenated word. Emmanuel, don't guess. Don't even try. This is Springboard, the Virtual University, and my guests, Emmanuel Twene and Edna Frimpong, help me to understand how they found themselves in agribusiness, in Emmanuel's case, organic farming, and then in the case of Edna, in shoemaking along with her partners. Tell me about your partners, your colleagues that you do this with, leading Ahufade Designs. Who are they?
So we have Edna Frimpong. He's a software developer and also key manager. And then we had Sandra Frimpong. She's a banker and also helps a lot when it comes to the finances. And then I'm also there. And then we have other shoemakers. We have those who make the smokes. We have those who make the bags. So roughly we are 15 people. But then the forefront.
Initiative.
Yes.
To your initiative, there are 18 or 15.
15, yeah.
Including the three.
Yeah.
15.
Yeah.
So a group of young people are giving employment to 15, telling you are contributing to the economy.
Thank you.
Must take you very seriously.
Very.
Right. Nice one there. So, Emmanuel, do you also have partners you work with?
No, so at the moment, I'm doing it solo, but then it's registered as a limited liability company. Right. And then we are opening up for partnerships and then investments from other people who may be interested in what we are doing. And so, for now, it's solo. When
I come back from this break, I'm going to be finding out some of the incredible things that you've done with mushrooms, because I'm sitting here with my cup of coffee from my friends at Skin Gourmet, my cashews from Aquaba Fine Foods, next to Edna wearing her nice Chelsea boots. Next week on the show, if you don't see me wearing Chelsea boots, then it's not me. And if you see me too, you must know I paid for it. I paid full price for it. When we come back from the break, I'll tell you about mushroom kebab and some incredible mushroom options you may not have considered. This is Springboard, your virtual university, brought to you by the Springboard Roadshow Foundation and proudly sponsored by MTN Ghana and the Enterprise Group, along with our partnership in Ghana Growth Program, a collaboration between Springboard in partnership with the MasterCard Foundation. Let me give you the Enterprise Advantage tip for the day, and it's about the difference between home insurance and content insurance. So literally, when we say content insurance, you are insuring the contents of your home, the furniture, the things that are in your home. But the home insurance covers everything, including the value of the building and its content. Ask questions when you are buying insurance, just so you can be properly informed. This tip is brought to you by the Enterprise Group. The number to call 030-263-4777. Email info@myenterprisegroup.io. Enterprise, your advantage. Let's go for a break. When we come back, let's find out about the various uses of mushroom and how you can go into the shoemaking business if you have an interest, or whatever thing that you are thinking of doing. What are the critical success factors as a young entrepreneur? Please don't go away.
Good business means seeing the possibilities and maximizing opportunities. Making sure you have a responsive support system backs your business goals. A partner that gives you a stable platform with reliable connectivity and seamless solutions, and better understands the tools required to take you to the next level. With so many moving parts in running a business, we do our best to provide you with some stability. The only kind of stability you can find with MTN Business Broadband, the fastest and most reliable internet provider in Ghana, making sure you stay ahead and stay connected, because we understand what makes your business tick.
Sign up today on broadband.mtn.com.gh or call or WhatsApp 0244 308 111.
MTN.
Whether it's 1924, 2024, or 2124, we've always known that you are driven by your sense of safety and well-being. It is what drives us to see you through from start to finish, from small to big. And in the last 100 years, as you have evolved, so have we also expanded to serve you in many ways. From cradle to grave, with expertise in insurance, life, pensions, properties, health, and for those beautiful, memorable goodbyes. It's 2024, and in all our markets, our pedigree is recognized, our strength respected, our expertise valued, and our solutions sought by all who desire an advantage in life. Experience the time-tested and truly trusted 100 years legacy of Ghana's oldest insurer. Take charge of your future now. Insurance, life, pensions, property management, funeral services, health insurance. Enterprise, your advantage.
Welcome back to Springboard, your virtual university, and to this incredible conversation with two under 30 achievers in agriculture, agribusiness, and ATVET. This is part of our series of programs trying to unearth exciting things young people are doing in these sectors. Springboard is brought to you by the Springboard Roadshow Foundation and proudly sponsored by MTN Ghana and the Enterprise Group. Our media partners are the Multimedia Group and the Graphic Communications Group. This initiative is also in partnership with Ghana Grows Program, a collaboration between MasterCard Foundation and the Springboard Roadshow Foundation. And it's simple. Young people doing big things in agriculture, big things in agribusiness, and big things in the technical and vocational sectors are our focus. We just want to throw light on them, support them to do well, encourage them to do well, because, hey, growing up, it was not something that we were excited about, a young person doing agribusiness. Which one to use that one? Why didn't you get a job? But today, we are saying, after all the years of research, we are convinced that that is where the opportunities are and want to encourage young people to do well there. So guess what? Every one of the young people you see us interviewing on this show, having won an award or just promoting on this show, is part of our efforts to say, keep doing what you do if you are a young person in these sectors. Go for it. You have our full support and you will do well. Hey, if you are a young person watching us, listening, or you know somebody who is young, between the ages of 15 and 35, doing great stuff in agriculture, agribusiness, technical or vocational sectors, just post it on the stream, Facebook stream that you are watching this on. If you are listening on radio, just WhatsApp it to us at the Ghana Grows call center number 030-8255-775, 030-8255-775. Or just post on the stream, what is the person doing? What is their name? If it's a company, what's the name of the company and what's their contacts? Who knows? We may just unearth a few more diamonds in the raw and throw some light on them and help them to do well. So anybody doing great stuff in these sectors, just post their name, their number, and their company, and we'll see if we can give a few more people a lift to do well. Emmanuel, is that a good idea?
Very good idea.
Yeah, promote more young people, give them a chance to do well. When we were starting out in business and struggling, we didn't get a lot of these awards and schemes to support us. And so we were like battling it out in the wilderness. But thank God that courtesy of MasterCard Foundation, Ghana Grows, and a lot of these interventions, young people are getting a lot of push in these sectors. Let's go to mushrooms. it used to be what you may want to call a fringe product or an ancillary product. But how big is mushrooms now, Emmanuel?
So mushrooms is one of the biggest, I would say, agribusinesses that one can venture into. It's quite silent, but then it's silent in production, but very loud when it comes out as a product. And so I think, like you mentioned in the intro, almost all 5-star, 4-star, 3-star, 1-star, 2-star restaurants, roadside restaurants, chop bars, almost everybody is using mushrooms now in their menu or in their delicacies. And that's to tell us how beneficial mushrooms has become to our human health and then to even the economy if we're taking key considerations into it. Mushrooms, like I mentioned, is not just about producing mushrooms for consumption, but then it's also a means by which we are tackling the climate situation, we are tackling the health of our environment. Because as more people are producing mushrooms, we are reducing the rate at which carbon is emitted into the atmosphere. We are reducing the rate at which methane gases are being emitted into the atmosphere. Okay. Yeah.
Walk me through some of the exciting products. I saw in your last training, I saw mushroom kebabs and tried it, and it was looking the same and tasting it in its own unique way, as good as any other kebab. Is it your own original idea, or you picked it from somewhere and modified it?
Okay, so it didn't originate from us. We came to meet a lot of people in the mushroom industry doing their own stuff, but then we are looking at taking it a step further. So we met mushroom kebab in the system, but then we looked at it from a different perspective. We are looking at it from it being not just a delicacy, but also a full meal, and then also it being an alternative source or alternative consumer preference as against meat and other.
How big is education? I mean, I realize that anytime I've watched you on TV, anytime I've heard you talk, you spend half the time on education and then half the time on, let's say, marketing, let's say, introducing your products. How big is education for you in this whole matrix of what you do at KET Organic Farms? Okay, so is it your Kivas UCC background that makes you a pseudo educator?
No, please, not really. But I think most of the things that I know are things that I learned from doing. And I always tell people that agribusiness and even TVET, they are stuff that until you enter into it, you wouldn't be able to see the opportunities therein. But then once you find yourself doing it, you find yourself learning and unlearning a lot of things. You find yourself practicing a lot and then learning from some of those experiences. And so almost all the information I share are practical experiences that I have witnessed. And for us, before we bring out any product, we make sure that we've done a lot of due diligence in terms of marketing. We make sure that we've tried it on a couple of people to see, and the people give us their feedbacks on the product that we are producing, so that at the end of the day, it's not like we are producing what we want, but we are producing what the market demands. And then the key factor for us is the health of the individual, of the consumer. And so we factor that into all the productions that we do.
When it comes to the word I tease the public with, and the word is problem solving or problem solver. And I'm sure you're not surprised.
Sure.
That in my opinion, if I was to describe you, and by extension both of you, problem solver will be the critical success factor for any young person going into business, and for that matter into agribusiness or ATVET, and wanting to do well. And you are saying that everything that you have done has been looking into the problems people have and trying to find a solution.
Sure.
You've also mentioned the health of the people you are trying to serve.
Yes.
In my interview with Mildred Akutia of Akwaba Fine Foods, from her perspective as a food scientist, it was evident that food safety was like a fetish for her. Let me use that word advisedly. She was on and on about safety and how critical it is in the food business. Would you say that that would be the second critical factor beyond problem solving in the business that you are in?
Yes, food safety is a common call. Somewhere 2021, I was part of some team of professors and then some people from CSIR organizing a program on food safety on the Food Safety Awareness Day. And through that interaction with these big people in the industry, I realized that there are a lot of issues when it comes to food safety here in Ghana. We do not take a lot of the things into consideration. We do not really pay a lot of attention to some of the things that are happening in our food system. But then anything that happens in our food sector or in our food system is really critical to our health. And then not just our health, even our genetic makeup, because some foods that we consume, based on some chemicals or based on some activities that we do, can even mutate our genetic makeup. So it's not surprising that now people go to the hospital, there are a lot of DNA cases. And sometimes when I sit and then watch some of these things, I do not blame it entirely on infidelity, but then it could be as a result of our genetic mutation that's occurring because of some of the food and then some of the things that we're exposed to. And so I think that food safety is something that we should champion as a country, because it really goes beyond just diarrhea and then running stomach. It goes beyond that. It's a whole lot of issues that we need to deal with when we're talking about food safety.
I saw a quote that says, "We are what we eat."
Yeah.
Exactly.
Emmanuel Twene of Ket Farms is the voice you are listening to, talking about food safety, and then also adding to the earlier submission I made about problem solving being the lead thing that drives many of the interventions that he goes into. Let me come to you, Edna. If a young person like you was asking you, what would you think are the critical factors, in addition to problem solving, in addition to safety of your clientele, which other attributes would you say a young person needs to do well in business?
I think there's one thing I have noticed. People want to venture into the TV, the shoemaking, and they just want the quick money. If you don't learn the skill, master it well and market it, how do you get the money? People come to training for 3 months, 4 months, and they expect that they just blow. They start getting the money. So people don't really have the patience to make sure that whatever they are doing is really becoming better so that they can sell it well. They just want to venture into it and they just boom. That's why people don't like that venture. They just want to go to 9 to 5 job because they'll get money every day. So the patience, people don't have the patience to wait, to learn the skill and become perfect at it. Because if you have the skill forever, you have it forever. And people don't have that patience. I pray that, and I urge that the young ones will have that patience to come and learn the skill. If you're not learning the skill, some people don't want to learn the skill, but they want to start selling it. That's fine. You come to our place, we give it to you as a wholesale and go and do business.
But that also requires a skill.
A skill. You need
Sales and marketing is a learned skill.
It's a skill.
That's why some people can sell thousands and some people can sell just 10.
Exactly.
So you are saying that patience and skill development is really key for you.
It's key for me.
What do you think, if you are listening to us or watching us, what do you think is the biggest attribute a young person needs to do well in business? Emmanuel is alluding to problem solving, alluding to health and safety of your clientele or their well-being. Edna is alluding to patience and skill building as critical tools. I'm going to come back to Emmanuel on training because he's literally always training somebody. But let me tell you why patience is an even bigger thing than just a critical success factor for young entrepreneurs in ATV to agriculture. Really, it's about life. Nothing that you want to do that is big will come to you on a silver platter in the first day. Real things. It takes time. You are right about that. I was listening to one of my favorite mentors of all time say that many people, and you can guess from the way I will explain, but I will not mention his name because I haven't gotten his permission to say this. He said it in public actually, but he said many young pastors walk to him and say, "Tell me the secret of your success in ministry." And they expect him to say something very powerful. And he says, patience. And he says they get disappointed because they want to hear anointing or something very, very powerful. And he's being very consistent in saying patience. And I think that you capture it so beautifully when you say the thing that you see that you like, that you want to do, it may look nice to you, but it takes patience to get the results. So whatever you want to do, my friends, it takes patience. Edna says, Efe, but Jibodi. Is that the word? Efe, Jibodi. I like it when we say it in the local language. Abotari, Jibodi. Be patient and you will get there. Emmanuel, training. Let me pick up from where Edna left off. Training. How big is training, development, learning in what you do? Because sometimes both things you jump, you take it when you're running. I mean,
exactly. You've had a couple of people who would, just like Edna mentioned, would want to come even as employees, but then they feel, okay, we've seen how A, B, and C is done, and so we are good to go. We can go and start on our own. But then I always tell people that apart from you knowing what you're doing or you seeing what the person is doing, you have no idea the secret they have that make it happen the way you're seeing it. So it may appear to you that, oh, it's just the surface, but then what goes into it and the research work that's gone into it, the spiritual backing that's gone into it, you have no idea. And so you don't just, walk into something and say, oh, because I've seen it, I think I can do it, and then you go just with it. I've seen a couple of people who have, in fact, lost a lot of investment in agribusiness and agriculture. A lot of people. And always the idea has been that when you talk to them, you realize that they had, oh, Charlie, this thing it's profitable. And then I went to invest into it. So there was no training, there was no education. They probably watched some YouTube videos, read something online, and they thought that was it. But I always say that
get some training.
Practical training is key. Not just a theoretical training, but practical training.
Germans have a very integrated, organized, state-promoted apprenticeship system. Okay. Would you subscribe to us having, let's say, let me start with you on this apprenticeship system, Edna? Would you want us to create an organized apprenticeship system? You apprenticed under your dad for years, so you are doing it. But would you subscribe to the fact that there must be, for every industry you are thinking of, a proper apprenticeship system that people can go through for a while?
Thank you, Reverend, for the question, because something really important here. The school system in this country, those who even do the practical, like the shoemaking, if you go to Tech, they do shoemaking, but they don't do the practical, just the theory. And when they are done, that is it. They have to go and learn the practical from a shoemaker.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's what they do. So that's why we aim, I hope they want to do that academy where when you go and learn the theoretical here, come and learn the practical. Because all those that learn at the Tech, they come to the shoemakers on the roadside to come and learn the practical. So imagine having academy training people are using cassava to make all these things. People are using different things to make. So why don't you have an academy that could train these people? So that when we go and learn the theoretical, we'll come back and learn the practical.
So that's the next level.
It's the next level. So I think because we don't have.
That's audacious.
But
it's doable.
It's doable because imagine. So what we want to do is to have that academy where we're not just shoemakers. So we have smock makers, we have bag makers. They are there. So those who already have the theoretical background will just come and we'll teach them the practical aspect. Because some people don't know where to go and learn all this training and all that. Sometimes you need to go and beg and all that. So if you have this academy, it's going to be a structured thing so that whilst we teach you maybe the theory, the marketing, the sales and all that aspect, we also teach you the practical aspect. You come and meet the shoemakers there and doing all that.
Powerful. I mean, I can imagine that from what you're saying, Edna and Emmanuel by extension, somebody could literally come out with a degree in something and have never touched it.
Yes.
Or worked with it.
Yeah. A lot on Instagram, on LinkedIn, I see people coming into my DM. I didn't learn that works in school.
But I don't know. I
want to come and learn the skills. So that's the issue we are having in this country.
Well, thank God that they can even find you on Instagram and come and learn. They didn't. They may end up being doctors who have never touched a patient and are practicing. But it's real.
Yeah, it's real.
Emmanuel, you do a lot of training. And I find it very fascinating. I know recently you did something on mushroom farming and snail farming.
Mushroom.
So walk us through how it happens.
Okay.
I know there was 35 people, then there's 60 people. Just give us a scenario, paint a picture of the ones that you organize. What form does it take? How do you select them? And when they come, how long is it? Just give me a sense of the kind of training that you are organizing.
Okay, so we have a couple of training programs that we do. I'm proud to say that we've even have partnerships with Springboard Russo Foundation to do some trainings on mushroom farming and then mushroom processing to ensure that participants get the necessary knowledge, and then they can pick up from where they want to really do their own stuff from. And then we have partnerships with Social Enterprise Ghana, where we train, in the past we've trained refugees, we've trained women with disabilities, we've trained youth, we've trained a lot of young people in mushroom, snail, greenhouse vegetable farming and all that. And then ourselves, we organize trainings which on our farm, where people can come and then learn. Our farms are always open to people to come for trainings and then learn and see how things are done practically. And I'm happy to say that wherever we are doing our trainings, they are purely practical. I think a couple of weeks ago, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, we had one at East Legon with some participants, and we brought all our materials from the farm to the center to train them for that, so that they see practically what we do on our farm. So it doesn't really, the distance or the location doesn't deter us from giving practical training to people.
New Wine Temple.
New Wine, sorry. New Wine.
It's very important.
New Wine Temple.
But just to say that was a community intervention we did, and just to note that the exciting thing for us was that we typically would have sent foodstuffs to the people in the underprivileged in our community to give them food to eat. But Edna, beyond some point, how often can you give people free food to eat? So the team decided that instead of giving them free food, we give them free skills. Okay. So working with Ket Farms, we organized the training, and and it was just a 1 day.
It was a 1 day.
Wow.
So are you saying that for some of the mushroom trainings, even a whole day can give people a basic sense of what it's about?
Exactly. So a whole day can give them a sense of about 80 to 90% of the knowledge they need to start. And so in our trainings, it's basically practical. It's about just 20% of theory and about 80% practical. So
you think that if somebody came and interned for a whole week of training, they could literally walk out and start something?
Oh, yes.
Why are people still unemployed and on the streets?
So
please tell me.
I think the information, access to information is one thing that a lot of people are not having, and two, the opportunities. Like mentioned, those days, those opportunities were not there, but now some of these opportunities are available. But then if you don't go looking for them, it will be difficult for you to find and then know that these opportunities exist. And even as we also have online trainings that we do, at the moment we have one that we are doing on vegetable farming, organic vegetable farming. It came out of the surge in prices in vegetables some few months that went by, where prices of vegetables were skyrocketing and the people were complaining all over the place. So we did the first one where we sent a form on WhatsApp, people registered, and then we took them through 60 days training. So it was on a weekly basis. We teach you, okay, this week, gather these materials. We're starting to grow this type of vegetables. The following week, we tell you, okay, now your crops that you planted are germinating. Take this care of it. The following week, we do another video, and then we share with you. Then we tell you how to go about it for 60 days. So by 60 days, your crops are ready for you to harvest. We did the first cohort. The second cohort, we are starting next week, and then people are still registering.
So how much did they pay to be on that?
It was free.
Free of charge?
Free of charge.
What makes a young person, obviously doing something for profit, invest your time to teach people what you are doing that you are earning money from for free, just so that they can go and earn a living? Tell me, what's your motivation?
Okay, so the motivation is to ensure that everybody's eating healthy, everybody has something to do, and then also get our young people interested in agribusiness. I realized in the first cohort that a lot of people that took part had no idea about farming. They've been in Accra all their life, and the only crops they see are the trees they see around them when they're going out, and that's it. And so it was a lot of joy for us, for people to have these testimonies. And the other thing was that we told them, you should, if you have children, get your children involved. So the idea is that we are planting into these kids that agriculture is something that, as a child, you can venture into. So we are believing that whilst they're doing this with their parents, they will develop the interest, And so growing up, they can pick up careers in the time. When they ask them in school, what do you want to be in the future? They can probably say, I want to be a farmer.
If I clap for the two of you, it is justified. I mean, thank you. But you know the beautiful thing about this? The two of you, as if you rehearsed this, both of you grew up looking at something your parents were doing and felt, while it's great, it could be done at a higher level. Yeah. And both of you got education and felt, you know what, let me go take what our parents are doing and do it at a bigger level than we are doing it now, or they're doing it. But the most beautiful thing is that beyond your own progress you are making, you also are thinking of how to empower other young people to do what you are doing.
Sure.
And do it in a sustainable way. And so you are thinking education, you are thinking mentoring, you are thinking impartation. We will be following your stories here on Springboard and touching base with you and with your progress to make your stories a case study for the whole world to see that patience, systematic building, it pays off. But before I come to you for your closing words, let me see how proud we are, not just of you, but all your colleague awardees on the Young Innovators, Ghana Grows Young Innovators Awards. And by extension, all young people you are employing 15, you are employing...
At the moment, we have 12.
12. The two of you alone, your companies alone, 27 young Ghanaians are not chasing the bank or the ministry to find a job. They are happily doing what they are doing. There may be challenges, but this is the kind of story we want to spend our airtime amplifying. And if, as a result of this, more people buy from you and you get more profits, that is the reward for investing your time in supporting young people. And just for the benefit of those who may be watching us online, this book that is in my hands, The Changing Narratives, Ghana Grows Youth-Led Compilation of stories of young people doing amazing things in agriculture, agribusiness, and ATVET. It's just stories like this, stories like Edna's, stories like Emmanuel's, summarized with pictures for your benefit, so you can just see different young people saying, well, these are the challenges I face, but I went into agriculture, I went into agribusiness, I went into ATVET, and hey, I am making progress. They may not have arrived, but we are cheering them on and saying, you will get there, so keep going, because that's the only way to solve Africa's youth unemployment. Edna, your closing thoughts for everyone listening out there, and please throw in why they should buy Ahufade Designs. Let me angle it so that you can see the Chelsea boots with a nice golden buckle. I'm telling you, this shoe next week, I'll be wearing someone this shoe. But I said paid for. So tell me, why should they buy from Ahufade Designs? Why should they pursue their talent and not go queuing at offices looking for jobs?
One, when you're buying, you're supporting young people like myself, doing something unconventional, failed. And secondly, you are also contributing to the GDP of the country. Because when you pay Uber, we also pay staff. And these staffs also take care of themselves and their family. They don't become a burden to their family. They pay tax and all that. And we also pay tax as well. So we are also contributing to the economy of the country. And then we are also promoting, we have other young artisans making all these mugs, these shoes and all that, which we say we are promoting local artisans. And at the end of the day, they get money. And also, there's you go with that talk about decent job. At least we're having a decent job to do. And so we are on that. And I pray that 5 years to come, we will have that academy that I'm talking about.
Yeah. The light in your eyes.
And then there's this project I'm working on, Revenue, which if you want to support me, I'm fine. So I released a book, The Shoemaker Girl, and the part of the proceeds goes into making a shoe for a shoeless child. So the project name is Shoe for the Shoeless. So, yeah.
So how can people support Shoe for the Shoeless?
So either you're buying a copy of the book, or maybe you don't want to read a book. You just want to partner or support in any way. I'm available for that.
So if somebody says beyond buying the book, they want to support Shoes for the Shoeless, can they find you somewhere?
Yeah, on Instagram, The Shoemaker Girl, or even Ahufade page, you will see me, or LinkedIn, Edna Frimpong. You
live, breathe LinkedIn. Charlie, in the next world, when you get first class, make sure you don't go and sit in the bank. Do shoes, and you bring your first class thinking into the shoes. Congratulations on the book. Congratulations on the planned academy, just the thought alone, and then also for shoes
for the shoeless.
Let me greet my friend Selam Bekele Kairu, all the way in Kenya, who's also doing something on shoes for the shoeless. Not the same name, but inspired by a picture of a child with a hole in the shoe that was so big that you could take, a cameraman took a picture through the hole in the shoe. And my friend was so broken that she went into a program to provide shoes for the shoeless schools. And I think that the heart with which you are doing this shows that you and Edna and Selam share one thing in common. Maybe one day you go to Kenya and meet Selam and they can compare notes. Emmanuel, what will be your closing thoughts for anyone watching and listening to Springboard at Virtual University? And why should they buy from Ket Farms?
Okay, so buy from Ket Farms because we have your health at the center of everything that we're doing. And then our production processes are all contributing to a healthy environment, a healthy and sustainable environment that we all live in. And then also, we want you to be part of all our processes. And so we have a variety of products made of mushrooms that you can choose from. If you want it in a tea, if you're a hotel and then you want
mushroom tea,
we have mushroom tea, which is mushroom infused with lemongrass tea.
So mushroom tea.
Mushroom tea, we have mushroom cookies.
Kebab, mushroom cookies.
Yes.
What else?
And then now a new product which you're bringing on board is a mushroom cracker. Yes. So whilst in the traffic, you can just pick it and then have a taste of it whilst driving home. Yes.
While the traffic is punishing you, the mushroom cracker.
Exactly.
What about the snails? What do you do with them?
Yeah. So at the moment we only sell the frozen and then dried snails. So if you're traveling, yes, if you're traveling, then we have FDA certification for it. So if you're traveling, then you need some snails to go along. You can always call us and then pick some few pieces from us. If you want organic vegetables, we are your number one stop shop for that. And then we want to encourage. We are in Teacher Mante in Sawam. And we want you to be part of the challenge as well, the 60-day grow your own backyard organic vegetables.
So online you can find that one.
So that's the link. We have the link shared on our Facebook page, Keps Organic Farms and Consult on Facebook, and then we have it on WhatsApp. So you can WhatsApp us as well, and then you can have
60-day grow your own vegetable challenge. Yes. I like this kind of challenge. It's not just entertainment; it's also food.
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
And then,
all right.
I think, and then I would want to also mention that if you are, whether you're in Ghana or not in Ghana, and you want to invest into agribusiness, we are creating another platform for you, Cyber Agri Consult. What we do is that we are using AI, we are using IoT, Internet of Things, we are using drones to monitor your farm for you whilst you are away. And then we have a farm management platform system where you can always see what is happening on your farm, regardless of where you are in the world.
Yeah, I would need that.
Farming in Ghana, and you can always have access to your farm and see real time what is happening on your farm. So don't be afraid that you are living in abroad and then your farm wouldn't do well. Wherever you are in the world, you can still see the farm.
Being the person harvesting the tomatoes for free.
You can see it.
I tell you what, my grandfather was a cocoa farmer. And courtesy of his cocoa farm, I got a scholarship to do my secondary education in Infantsville because my mother, who was a single mother, a widow, could not afford the boarding fee. But the scholarship came from my grandfather's cocoa farm. Oh. But it's a shame to me to say that growing up, I never dreamt of going into farming because farming there, you go to school and they want to punish you. That's why you go to farm, not farming as a profession. But courtesy of the Ghana Growth Program that we are on, courtesy of all these wonderful young people who are doing incredible things in agric, I've retraced my steps back into agriculture, which I'm doing with a lot of vim. For now, in my heart. Very soon, it will translate from my heart into my hands and my feet. And I will come back on this program and tell you what I've done. So on behalf of Team Springboard and Ghana Growth, a big thank you to Edna Frimpong and Emmanuel Twene. Twene means drum. Yes. You are sounding the drum. I'm about to do differently. And all the Frimpongs in your company to beat all of them. So my name is Albert Okran, saying thank you on behalf of Springboard Roadshow Foundation, our sponsors MTN Ghana and the Enterprise Group, our big partner, the Ghana Growth Program, a collaboration between MasterCard Foundation and Springboard Roadshow Foundation. I greet all the young people across the country doing wonderful things in agriculture, agribusiness, and ATVET. And I say simply that it can be done, and it will be done because you believe. Thank you to our media partners, the Multimedia Group and the Graphic Communications Group. And if you are watching us online and you know any young person doing big stuff or attempting to do something in these sectors, just post their name, their company, and their number, and a big surprise could possibly await them one of these days. My name is Albert Okran, saying God bless you, and God bless you.
Turning point, yeah.